mentioning that part. I don't believe it is a favorable one. Let's cut military spending. I don't
Hey, this is a shout out to the whole.
like Black History Month. I don't like it. Okay. Now, when I was a kid, it was cool or whatever. I thought it was cool. I remember a lot of projects that I had to do, and I learned about people and things that I didn't know about before. But looking back on it, a lot of times it was like a jazz musician or someone who was hurt or done wrong. I learned about, all of this pain and oppression, stuff related to slavery and so forth and so on. Um, Looking back on it, I don't like it. I don't like it. The more I think about it, I don't like it. I had the conversation with my kids recently, and they were like said something about Black History Month, and I was like, I don't like Black History Month. They was like, what? I was like, you're a black guy. You're supposed to like Black History Month. I'm supposed to like football, which I don't really. I mean, I like to play Madden, and I understand the game, but I'm not really just into it. You know, I'm so these are the things I'm supposed to like as a black guy, but I don't. And I really have a problem with it. I really do. The more I think about it, the more stuff I've learned. I'm an anthropology major. It's basically history. And freaking, I love history. I really do. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can read this dry, boring stuff that people consider dry and boring, and I can read it and really be into it. Um, so I love history. But the idea of a Black History Month bothers me a lot because it's like there's no White History Month, you know, there's no Asian History Month, you know. Um, I think we have a Latino Latinx something that they do that's similar to Black History Month, and I don't like that either. So, and the reasons why is because history can't be separated like that. You can't do that. And then it also is related to this tokenism thing that they like to do. Again, unpopular opinion, stuff that's going to piss people off, but it's like they feel obligated to black people in a certain way, but they don't want to give them reparations. They don't want to, really put effort into making things more fair or making things more level playing field. Instead, they give you this Black History Month. Like today, when I was walking through school, they have these pictures up everywhere. You could, and they're temporary. You could tell, like it's put up on like what do you call them? The stencil? I can't think of what you call it. The thing that you paint on has the three legs, and you put like the painting on it or whatever, and that's what you have. It's all through the hallways and stuff. Pictures of MLK, Rosa Parks, and stuff like that. And I look at it as I walk by, and it's like, okay, it's temporary. They're gonna take this down in a couple of weeks, and it's like, this is us paying homage to Black History Month or whatever, acknowledging it, recognizing it or whatever. And it really just bothers me because it's like, so 1 month out of year, we're supposed to look at, uh, highlight Black history, and the stuff they highlight is stuff that's usually related to slavery and uh, the suffering of black people. Like, they're either a victim or they're criminals. Like, and there's no in between. Like, they need to be saved, they need to be helped. They're they're lesser. That's where the Black History Month comes in. They're lesser, so they didn't really. uh, contribute to history. They didn't really contribute to philosophy or uh, you know anything that's great that happened. That progressed humans. So we got a month that we just kind of focus on the black people and their little accomplishments, like the first black person to take a poop in a white, like the Dave Chappelle skit. It's Dave Chappelle is so perfect with that kind of stuff. It's so funny, and but it points to what it really is. It's like, oh, the fact first black person to do this, the first black person to do that, or whatever the hell. Like, get all the way the f out of here. You don't never say the first white person to do that, or the first white person to do that. You don't never hear that. So this is a mind fuck that's going on related to this Black History thing, this Black History Month thing. Same thing with the MLK Day. It's like MLK Day just passed, and people are like, uh, it's not even a real holiday. Who gets off for MLK Day? Do they let you? Whoever's listening, did you get off for MLK Day? Did you get that day off? Like, what was the holiday like? How did it affect anything with your life? It's like, oh, you saw a bunch of MLK speeches or whatever. They came out with the statue that everybody is hating on. Like, but really, what did it do for black people? What did it do for anyone? Did it help you in any way? Did it help, you know, equalize the the results or the wrongs of history? I don't see it. I don't like this tokenism bullshit where it's like the liberals are the ones that jump on this shit heavily. It's like, okay, so the black people went through this, that, and that in the past, so let's make a black president. Boom, that should help them. That now it's better. They got black representation in the highest office of the land. We got a black woman on the Supreme Court justice. Y'all should be happy now. It's racism is over. All of the history related to this slavery, colonization, or whatever, it's over with. You got black representation in high office. So all the rest of you dudes, all the rest of you black guys and black women, y'all should be happy and thankful for that. So things are even now. We're good. Let's move on with life. But I'm like, that's so much bullshit. It's so much bullshit. Let's look at the problems that are really going on. And it's not really just black people who are suffering. That's what the whole thing is with the tokenism. It's like, it instead of focusing on the problem, instead of focusing on what's really going on, instead of really trying to make things better, we just give you this tokenism bullshit to make it appear that we care, to appear that we're making things better. That racism is over. I don't know. It bothers me a lot. I hate it. Let me read a couple comments right here. Facebook user says, I agree. There's a mindset behind taught, not simply history or knowledge. And he says, nope, and hard work. So it's like the mindset that history needs to be divided up in categories related to ethnicity or racial makeup or racial background. Like white people had a different history than black people or Asians or Hispanics or whoever the hell. Like, we all didn't just go through whatever the hell happened yesterday. Black people didn't, I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought, but it really gets under my skin, the whole idea of Black History Month. Okay, so we study white history 11 months out of the year, and 1 month out of the year we'll study some black history related to the first time black people did this, or the oppression or pain and whatever the hell they went through. It's all bullshit. If you want to teach history, teach what happened, so that we can know, so that we cannot make the same mistakes again, so that things can be better for the future. How can we possibly move forward when we have this skewed sense of history where it's focused on, like, the way they teach history is focuses on particular events, the time frame that it happened, the year it happened, and all of this, and they don't give you the context related to all the other things that's going on. It's things happening all over the world at the same time, and all of this stuff is interconnected. The black people was involved in the white history, if you will, and it was white people involved in the black history, if you will. You know what I'm saying? It's not black history, it's freaking history, period. So teach it properly all 12 months of the year, and then you won't have to focus 1 month on black history because you actually are teaching what actually happened, you know? And the thing, another part of black history, it's like it started with slavery. Like, that's another part that drives me freaking batty. So black people didn't exist before slavery. we, we wasn't even a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened before slavery? Black people before slavery? What are you talking about? Like, they magically appeared during slavery. So, like, their history starts with slaves. Like, get all the way the F out of here. So, Facebook user says you remind me of Kanye. I don't mind being compared to Kanye, but I ain't gonna lie. When he said I don't really read books, I got a problem with that. I think you need to read some books to better understand things that's going on here in the world. I mean, not to say that books is everything, and you can be taught, you can be mentored, you can learn things other ways. But when you say you don't like to read books, I don't know. That's like, I don't know. I kind of got a problem with that because now your whole view of things is going to be based on what somebody said or whatever. Like, okay, reading the book is what someone said or their point of view or whatever. But when you read multiple books, and some books aren't just opinions. Like the news is all opinions. Somebody's opinion on the subject. You have the talking heads, the panels, and they go over whatever the hell, and all you're getting is their opinions. But some books, the ones that y'all don't like to read, that y'all find boring and dry, are just straight information. Like a damn encyclopedia, like an ethnography. Well, ethnographies can have a little uh, bent to them too, and an encyclopedia could possibly have a bent to them too, as far as the information that they decide to kind of highlight and the parts that they kind of like decide to leave out. But at the same time, data, information, it doesn't have a color, and then it doesn't have an opinion. The facts are the facts. Like they say, love don't love you. You know what I'm saying? Love is just love. Facts is just facts. What happened is just what happened. How you feel about it is kind of irrelevant. And people be like, oh, I feel like this or I feel like that. Well, your feelings are not what is freaking we're talking about here. We're talking about what actually happened. What was the actual history? What was the events? What motivated these people? Like, you could say, I could feel like, okay, races, like the argument with the Civil War. The Civil War wasn't because of slavery or whatever. Like, well, okay, well, you could feel like that. But go back and look at the history and see what those people said who was actually involved in it, the ones who made decisions about this, that, and the other, and see what they said about it, okay? And then now you know that it was. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. It is what it is. Like, you got to accept that reality. How you feel about it is irrelevant. Facebook user says Hannibal was black and one of the greatest generals of war before slavery. So how many times did they teach you about any of that stuff when you're in school, even in the universities? So the thing is, the black history